Hello, Michelle. Welcome to Yodiha. Mastering
Hello.
oneself is the master meditation teacher. The forever teacher and forever learning person. The queen of all soul media in the Philippines.
Oh my gosh. Thank you for that wonderful introduction.
The queen of all soul media in the Philippines. And now, expanding her horizon here in Canada. Miss Michelle Brendy, hi. Welcome. Okay, it's turning the ang tawag doon, nawawala yung English ko, girl. Table. Ako na yung mag-i-interview. Say, my God, I'm so tense because, you know, she's the soul. Ikaw yung queen of soul media.
Oh my gosh. It's not always that I'm okay as an interviewer. There are days.
So she is medyo informal lang to, girl, ha? So we're not very you know me, it's more fun and all that. So
pero kasi naman, diba, there are days when we're not really at the optimum level.
Oh, yeah.
When we do the interviews. But then all conversations are unique in its own.
Yeah.
And I always get surprised that in every conversation that I have in Soul Talk, there's something that I always learn. And of course, it's always part of my journey. So those who are also listening, they're also in that kind of journey together with the guest.
Yes. Wow. Intro pa lang yan, very soulful. No? Okay. So, so let's start with, do you want to start with the Yodiha questions first, or just for people to know more about you, or should we head start to all the questions about your current studies right now? Which way do you want to go?
Let's start with the questions na lang, and then we'll use that as a jump off point.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Meron akong PowerPoint, so. Para hindi ako maano. Wait lang. Okay. So, i-share ko na lang yung screen para makita
Sure.
nila yung question. Tapos background na lang tayo. So, okay, dito tayo. Kita pa rin tayo. So, you're a beautiful soul with the biggest heart.
Right.
Oh, kita mo
Really
siya.
all. Yes, I'm seeing it.
Diba? Parang may card ba ako sa'yo? So, the question number 1, does the meditation helps a lot in your studying? Example, calm your nerves during exam? Or what ritual do you do aside from meditation? You could tell more about what are you studying right now so people would know, and then you could answer that after this one.
Yes, meditation helps a lot. What I realized is that because I went back to PhD last term, I was a PhD returnee last term, and last term started July. So this term, it started this month, October. And one major difference that I did is to incorporate a short meditation before every class. Because last term I only had one class, but then this term I have three. And it really helped me because I'm biologically I work better in the morning. My brain is working more in the morning. So if it's a 6 p.m. class, most definitely my energy level is really down because by that time I'd rather do those non-heavy lifting work. But then I realized that doing a short meditation before the 6 p.m. class really helped me um, rewire the brain in such a way that I become more active in terms of listening.
Okay.
It does it doesn't really, yes, of course it calms my nerves, but then the more important thing is that my brain is going up to that level wherein it can absorb information again. So
So
that's the
there's
most
clarity.
helpful.
It gives you
Yes, that's the most
clarity.
helpful thing. Mm-mm. But then of course, overall, because the question is specific on my studying, right? How meditation helps in my studying. So
Yeah.
that's a specific meditation that I do, but it's short, like 5 to 10 minutes, just to clear the brain, to revamp the energy level so that I could, go into class because it's online, my God. And
Yeah.
not, I hate to say this on recording, but I have professors who really speak slowly.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. We will not
Yes,
share the link to your professor.
and but who knows, right? It's a small world. But they speak slowly, and it has a tendency to make students fall asleep if they're not really taking down notes or if they're not drinking coffee or it's the tonality of the way they speak that makes it sleepy. um so meditation really helps so that it
Yeah.
refreshes the brain so that when I enter the online class, even if the tonality of their delivery is it's conducive for sleep, it's still I am still able to absorb the lessons. So that's one good thing. But overall, meditation has really helped me be more discerning, be more calm. It has also helped me become more self-aware. So, of course, in life, we go through so many ups and downs. We go through good times, but we also go through traumas, right? And
Mm-hmm.
meditation has helped me ground. It has helped me get to know who I really am through the experiences that I go through. Because of course, in every life experience that we go through, we make choices. We get to know our own values. Um we learn how to interact with other people as well. So basically, we
Mm-hmm.
make choices, and those
Yeah.
choices are reflective of our own character, of who we are. What is it that we want? What is it that we don't want? So instead of reacting all the time, when
Mm-hmm.
I was younger, I tend to
Yeah.
react all the time. And my reaction back then was more of on the negative side because it was always self-doubt, self-blame,
Yeah.
self-questioning.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but because of meditation, because of the practice of mindfulness, it
Mm-hmm.
has helped me ask questions that allowed me to get to know myself on a deeper level and to realize what is real and what is um, illusion, based on illusion in a sense that's the patterns that I have, the tendency that I usually
Mm-hmm.
have. So I'm able to discern what is real and what is not, and it allowed me to make proper choices that's aligned to who I am.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's
Yeah.
good.
So meditation is really helpful. At least on my side. That's how it really have helped me. Because meditation is, it has a lot of benefits. And I'm sure for different people, it has a different use.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, meditation has been really very helpful in my life. And I couldn't
Mm-hmm.
imagine living life without meditation. Oh, you
So
also asked about the other rituals, ano?
yeah, so what ritual do you do aside from meditation? Like for me before I would put like lavender oil, that's gonna help. Yeah,
Well,
maybe very simple
for
ritual.
me, for me in the mornings, of course, the ritual of lighting the candles, lighting the incense, um, that calms me down.
Mm-hmm.
When I fix up um the altar, I call it the altar. I have an altar where I put, different candles, different incenses. That really calms me down and it prepares me to go into silence. And usually the silence that I do is a form of meditation, but then there are also times when I do prayers. So
Mm-hmm.
I pray and I communicate to God, and I also do journaling. So those are the usual rituals that I do in the morning before I
Mm-hmm.
start my day. Um, if I'm able to manage my time well, like if I'm well rested, then I throw in a meditative walk. So for some people, they feel that I'm just walking around, but then
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of meditative because I'm also, praying while walking. So
Oh,
that's my
okay.
usual morning ritual.
Mm-hmm.
Um, in the evening before I go to sleep, that's when I do a short gratefulness prayer. So
Mm-hmm.
it's just a matter of thanking God for whatever it is that happened during the day, whether it's good or bad. And if it's a bad thing that happened, one that I can't let go of,
Mm-hmm.
even so, because we're all human, even with the
Yeah.
practice of mindfulness, there are some issues that really, bothers me. And there are times when, I don't like bringing it to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So in that evening prayer, that's when I release it to God. So I
Mm-hmm.
surrender it to I'm like saying that I'm bringing resolution to this issue, and I forgive myself for whatever it is that I've done, and not just myself, but also the other party and everyone else involved, whether they're
Mhm.
intentional to be involved or not. So that's my evening prayer, so that at least I go to sleep feeling
Yeah,
peaceful. We don't
that's
want to carry
nice.
it in the unconscious level, you know.
Mhm.
So that's my usual um ritual in the day.
Mhm. Okay. So, um, really, I'm glad to know about the meditation, the rituals that you do during studying, that it helps. Some people don't realize how important it is to clear their thoughts so that new learnings would, just clearing the desk for it, I guess, and then, or clearing the box and then emptying the space in their brain or their thoughts, and then having a new space to learn more. So I think that's you know, how I think about a meditation. So the next question is, are you grade conscious?
Grade conscious?
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not. I'm not.
Okay.
But before, um, well, when I was in elementary and high school, definitely not. But then when I entered MBA, that was the time when I was, really contemplating on what I want to do in life. I was
Mhm.
full career mode. I was
Yeah.
really very grade conscious during that time. My grades back then were highest and second highest, and that's it.
Mhm.
Anything below that, I wouldn't be happy unless there's really something that I did wrong.
Mhm.
Of course, grades are still measurements of our performance, right? It's either we
Yeah.
did something right or we did something wrong. So if we don't get the grade that we want, there must be something that we were not able to do, right? So
Mhm.
if that's the case, then there's only one where I got third to the highest grade. And it's something that I had to accept because I was the one who's also accountable for it. It's a learning experience. But right now at PhD, no, I'm not grade conscious anymore.
Mhm.
Actually, in PhD, there's a minimum grade requirement. We
Mhm.
need to hit at least 2.5 out of a scale of 4. 4 is the highest. So 2.5, somewhere in the middle, right?
Mhm.
That's a passing score. If we get below 2.5, then that means we have to repeat the coursework. But then, I'm not worried to be getting 2.5. I know that I'll get higher.
Mhm.
But then I'm not really very particular how
So the
high I
highest
should be
is
getting.
4 point.
Yes,
What's
the
the highest?
highest is 4.
4 is like
Yes,
the
the highest is
100,
4.
100%.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, okay. Quite different before from us. 1.0 is the high. Okay, so it's opposite. So like 4. Okay.
Yes, actually,
And 5 would
in
be the
Ateneo,
typical for us.
one
Yeah.
is the highest. One
Uh-huh.
is the highest in Ateneo. So now it's anyway. So four is the
So this one's
highest.
in LaSalle right now. This one is in
Yes,
LaSalle.
this one's in LaSalle.
And can you
Not
tell
really
them
grade conscious at
course,
all.
what course are you taking?
That's the last. That's the last thing I'm thinking of the grade. I'm
Hmm.
more worried about being able to comply with the
The
course requirements,
requirements. Yeah.
and yes, and doing it according to what the professor wants. Of course, they're
Mhm.
still grading it, right? So
Yeah.
a lot of work in PhD in business is research, it's writing. So
Mhm.
how I write should be aligned to what the professor is actually expecting or what the
Mhm.
course is expecting. And each course has a different learning objective. So I have to learn writing in different ways.
Okay.
So I'm more concerned with learning how to write according to a particular coursework rather than getting a very
A
high
very
grade.
high grade. Yeah. So it
But
changes.
I'm not,
Does it changes over
yes,
time, Nana, as you grow?
it changed. Well, at least for me, because I noticed that the younger people who are taking their PhD right now, they're really very grade conscious and they really get anxiety if they don't get the high grades.
Yeah, I think
It
they
it
want to
still
feel
happens. It still happens.
good about themselves, and it's, I think it differs depending sa ano, with the age. As you grow older or wiser, you're, because you just want to finish,
Yes, definitely.
right? Like it
Yes,
doesn't,
definitely.
we're not
I
conscious
noticed the
maturing.
grade consciousness of some students when they're younger. They're a bit younger.
Yeah.
Because right now I'm turning 40, right? And they're the more grade conscious ones.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So it's good to know we're not grade conscious with this time. Ako, I've never been grade conscious because I like to do activities as long as I passed after high school.
Yes.
On
Yes.
college,
As
wala
long as
na.
we pass, then that's good, right?
University, yeah, university, hindi na. So it
Mm-mm.
changes over time. I think it depends where are you at your life right now. So a little bit of a quote. That's because you're simply awesome, a beautiful person inside out. That's you. And okay, here is, so are you an achiever or a dreamer?
Ah, I'm a mix of both because I a lot of things going on. If I put my mind into something, then the insights would come in. And
Mhm.
but right now, I'm already in the middle. So whatever it is that comes to mind, I definitely am achieving it. Little by little,
Mhm.
of course. Are other items that I've placed in the backlog that right now is already, you know, inviting me to open it and start, doing it. So definitely in the middle.
Mhm. So you dream first and then you want to achieve something, and then just according to what you can do, not really pushing too
Mm-mm.
hard, not it's just more of in your own phase, not too much
Wherein
pressuring
I
yourself.
want to achieve a lot
Mm-hmm.
because in the previous 5 years, felt that during that time, of course, this is on hindsight, right?
Yeah.
During the last 5 years, I felt that I wasn't really doing much.
Mm-hmm.
I was basically in limbo. Yes, I was doing a lot of things, but then leaving something impactful, I feel
Mm-hmm.
that it's not a lot. So right,
Mm-hmm.
this is my way to jumpstart
Yeah.
that persona that is an
Mm-hmm.
achiever that
So maybe you're just at the
when
dreaming
I
stage
meet
at the five
different
years.
people,
Okay.
yes.
You're
So
still
I
trying to know what you wanna go
actually right
forward
now
to.
I already know what I want and how I should move forward. It's
Okay.
just that in the last 5 years I didn't have that momentum. But
Mm-hmm.
right now the thing that I want to do is build up that momentum. So as
Mm-hmm.
I am studying or completing my PhD, I'm also
Mm-hmm.
doing all the things that I've, placed at the background. So right now, everything is in front and I'm learning a lot right now, learning how to be more productive, how to use my calendar, both the one in the calendar electronic, the app and
You just have to do
calendar
it. You're,
manual.
yeah.
Yes. So it's
You're more
really a matter
grounded.
of
You're more grounded, and you've already enrolled. There's
every
no
day
there's no
and
time to
checking.
quit.
Yes. So I am more mindful of my time right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I know where my time is going and I'm filling up my calendar, so to speak. That's the thing. Because last 5 years, yun nga, parang I was doing a lot of things, but then nothing really that significant that leaves a mark.
Yeah.
But right now, I've turned a new leaf, so to speak, and I really want to achieve something. You know, in the next 5 years, done this, I've done this, I've done this, and all of these things are all into who I really am or my greatest potential.
Yeah. So maybe those 5
Because
years
the last five
you thought
years,
you were doing is the time for you to really reflect. And now that
yes, the last 5 years is
so there's
more,
no wasted time, right? There's no wasted times, even
and
if
I'm
you're
done
doing,
resting.
yeah,
Yes, I'm done resting. Now is the time
yeah,
to do
two things,
something.
yeah, yes.
Yes.
You're grounded
Oh,
now.
I still have days when energy of lethargy. That's my biggest issue. But I'm learning to I'm really really learning to myself. That's a term. It's to be more disciplined.
Yeah, I get what you want. I get what you. I
You
get
know,
what
I
you
mentioned
are.
earlier in Soul Talk, it's really related to my journey. That's why for the past months are going through transformation, who are in life, who are hardworking. This month actually they all have leadership qualities. So it's also, you know, a reflection of what I'm going through. Like those are body. And by talking to guests who have it,
Yeah, I think they call it whatever
learn
it
from
is.
them.
You learn from them. So you've touched so many
Yes.
lives with your love and kindness, and other people who were kind enough to share their journey. You know, it's being in the public, talking to you, even the private details of their life, their struggles, their dreams, how they were able to achieve whatever it is that they dream of, or any stories that doesn't have to be the so-called success that we thought. It's just more how to able to solve problems in their own way. So
Yes.
or
Mm-mm.
how to able to
How, what
navigate.
kind, actually, what kind of attitude do they have? How do they
Yes.
navigate through?
Hmm.
Um, I really have a high level of admiration and respect
Yes.
for friends, their acquaintances, and of course, Julie, you're one of my previous guests, right, in Soul Talk.
Hmm.
Just because they're at where they went wrong. But then the important thing is learning from those experiences and
Yeah.
moving forward, getting up, making a different choice, turning your life around, making an impact, leaving a legacy. It's like those are the things that's more important right now.
Yeah. And it's a two-way thing too. Like I'm
This
learning
is it.
through
It's like
myself. I'm learning through myself also when you were interviewing us.
decade
Like,
and
oh
I
yeah,
really, really love. Oh, I got loud. Oh no, nawawala.
yeah.
You kind of froze. You kind of froze.
Oh, okay na. Can you hear me now? Hello. We're back.
Hello? Yes.
So you've touched many lives with your love and kindness. And a lot of people were so kind enough, and they've touched a lot of lives too through streaming their life story. And then next would probably be, so in learning and in your studying, do you have to be grounded to study well and pass the exams? Because we we were talking last time. You're sometimes when we're too spiritual, we're high above,
Yes, I
but
know.
it's hard to learn back. So, is this the way you study well, or maybe it will be a different way for you to? How do you study effectively? Being grounded, or mm, so meditative, or just balance and neutral, or just in between?
Oh no, I think we're lagging. Okay.
Okay.
If it's my internet,
Mm-hmm.
if I get, choppy. Um yes, of course, we have to be grounded when it comes to doing the work. The thing with being very spiritual, sign is really, really up there.
Mm-hmm.
My astrologer friend told, well, and I have the tendency to be so up there that I'm
Mm-hmm.
not grounded in
Mm-hmm.
in in reality and what's
Mm-hmm.
going on in my life. Something I have to ground. Really, the thing is, what my spiritual teacher used to say, or not used to say, always tells me, um, practice son of God, as a daughter of God, but you're also a daughter of man. So as a daughter, grounded and take action.
Mm-hmm.
Christ, when he came here, all of his miracles are action related. There's always action involved. So
Mm-hmm.
who am I not to take action? I have to take action for me to continuously evolve spiritually, because that's the purpose of coming here, right? That's a
Mm-hmm.
purpose. It's mainly for if I don't take actions, um it's really part of the journey. So it's not just a matter of, bringing my light here, influencing others, but me myself doing the work, taking action,
Mm-hmm.
studying and passing. It's all, and for me to earn the that degree, and it's part of it. I have to ground myself, really ground myself. There are practices to ground when I do mindfulness.
Mm-hmm. That's good to know. And okay, additional to being grounded, this law of attraction or
Oh,
manifestation helps in studying.
it does. Law of attraction helps in studying. Um, teka nga, nasan ka na? Pumunta ka na sa next slide. Okay, ayan.
Oh, we're here. That's law of attraction
Yes,
manifestation helps in studying. Okay, here we go.
helps in studying. Of course it does. I'm able to manifest a lot. And I'm lucky, actually. I'm very, very lucky when it comes to um, setting intentions.
Mm-hmm.
Because there are times when, well, in PhD, the number of students are really not a lot compared to undergraduate. So the course offerings are usually less compared to course offerings in the undergraduate level. There are a lot of course offerings for masters, but then when it comes to doctorate level, bit less because of the student population. And I find myself really, really blessed because um, the courses that they offer, the schedule, the schedule matches mine. And um, somehow there are courses wherein it's out of sequence. So in grad school we call it I'm jumping one course to the other. So I'm taking up a more advanced course instead of going through the flow chart wherein I go through the basic ones first. But I'm able to convince the program coordinator to allow me to take the more advanced course because the course that I'm supposed to be taking is not yet being offered. And I give my reason, I give my, I would list down or I would justify why I should be allowed to take those courses that's more advanced, despite not yet going through the fundamental ones. And because of law attraction, I actually get what I want.
Good to know.
I get yes, I get the courses that I want. It's being offered. The professors are also nice. I know how to interact with them, and even if it's out of sequence, I get special approval. And I also got scholarship. I was so surprised that I got the scholarship, but I got it. So the law of attraction still works, in when I study. Um, but right now, if the question is, do I get good grades because of the law of attraction? It really depends on my work. Of course, if I put in the work, then yes, definitely.
Yeah.
Because intuitively, I would know what is required of me. So it's a
Yeah.
matter of me doing it or not doing
Yeah.
it. If I'm able to do it, then I get a good grade. If I don't, then
Yeah. It still works,
not so
right?
nice. Yes. The law of attraction works. It works everywhere.
Yeah.
Definitely applicable. Definitely applicable even when you're studying.
Okay. So that's good to know. Okay, next word. Okay. Put ako ano. The next question would be, is there a time that you want to quit, or is it hard?
Well, I'm a returnee, so that means I quit a few years back.
Oh,
A
okay.
few years back, I quit PhD because it was just too hard. I mean, a lot of things were going on in my life. I back in 2016,
Mm-hmm.
quit 2017, before 2017. So it was just 3 terms, and yes, I wasn't, I was just happy if it was different. It was different back then.
Yeah.
Um, I felt that it was hard, but then
Mm-hmm.
life was harder because life didn't allow me to, because PhD is a different animal. Of course, I also have to pull in my weight and study.
Mm-hmm.
My personal life was going through something, and my career was, had a lot of demands.
Yeah.
And on top of it, PhD also has a lot of requirements, which my life basically would not allow me to make time for it. So I was
Mm-hmm.
making a lot of excuses, but in reality, I was just really going through a crisis. And I felt that I had to stop everything. So I quit from my work back then. I also from PhD, took a residency, um, and dealt with my personal life. So that's why I mentioned that for the past 5 years, I feel that I really wasn't doing anything significant. That I was just floating, I was exploring, I
Mm-hmm.
was basically resting. And now is really is the time to you know quit that rest mode, that vacation mode. I've had such a long vacation now, so it's
Time to
time
do
to work.
some work. Yeah.
Yes, time to do the work.
So it's time to well, it's time to, because you were probably just waiting for the next. You were like probably docking first, and then now it's time for you to sail to your next destination, probably.
Yeah. Actually, um, I think I was just taking the easier road back then.
Mm-hmm.
Because, if we want growth, if we want to awaken,
Mm-hmm.
awakening is not the easy path. It's
Yeah.
taking the different path. It's taking um, I wouldn't want to say the harder path, but
Yeah.
it's the path that scares us the most.
The road less traveled.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how awakening happens. You travel through the path that you wouldn't usually take because it's so overwhelming and scary for
Mm-hmm.
you. And back then I was taking the easier path. But I
Yeah.
knew but I knew what the end goal is going to be. It's just that I was taking my time. I was taking the easier path. And if there's a sign of hardship, I would back off and then I would, take a detour in life. And yet here I am
Yes.
taking that road less, that road less chosen.
Yeah. Like from not doing anything to now in being a doctorate. So that's a big leap of faith, I guess, that you have. So the 5 year rest really, um, gives you a time to, I think, when you think that the easier path is not meaningful at all, you'll try to make
Truly,
it more meaningful.
I'm just calling it the rest. I'm just calling it exploration or rest. But during that 5 year rest, it didn't feel
Yeah,
like rest back then.
yeah, it's not
I
restful.
felt that I was also doing a lot of things, but then I felt that, okay, this is it. This is the direction that I'd like to take. This is it. But
Mhm.
on hindsight, it was actually the easier way. I took the easier way out during those times. It's only on hindsight that we get to realize things. That's why it's also important to be very mindful, to be very conscious,
Yes.
because during those times, I only started to practice mindfulness 3 years ago, 2 years ago,
Hmm.
and somehow it has helped me
Hmm.
navigate or understand what it is that I was actually doing.
Yeah.
And right now, I'm calling it my vacation, my 5 year vacation, my 5 year rest. But then during that time, it didn't feel like a vacation. I was
You were
also doing a lot
awakening.
of things.
So it's more of like
Yes, it
soul
was also
awakening. It's
it.
not
It's
physically, there's not really groundwork, but it's inside. It's a whole renovation inside, or decluttering,
yes.
organizing. There's still
Mhm.
work, but not
There's still
really
work,
visible in your
definitely.
space, but within you. And now you have all the courage to really go to your footings are ready. Because of that, you organize what's your priorities, what your soul is really thirsty of. For you, it's really learning and teaching now. You are not redirected, but you are being directed to the right path, which your soul is really quenching. So you are ready. You're so ready right now, and you arrive
Yeah.
right now in the destination that you're still embarking, but you are there. You have arrived. So that's a
Mhm.
lot of work too. So there is no wasted energies, just results right now, and transmuting whatever it is that you might call it vacation or resting, but it all is helping you to wherever you are. There's always expansion, regardless you feel it or
Yeah,
not, you see it or not. You are ever evolving, you are expanding and ascending.
I agree. I agree.
So how do you feel about this, that um I'm talking to like a different person from last year or just for a few months ago, honestly.
There's a lot of growth happening. There's a lot
Yeah,
of growth happening.
you are expanding and ascending tremendously. So it's just because you're all set and you put your footing there. How do you feel about this? Being in school, being in the direction that you really want to go through?
I feel so supported by the divine.
Mm-hmm.
And when I went
Wow.
back, the first term was so hard for me because it was such an adjustment, and
Mm-hmm.
I felt that I couldn't keep up. And
Yeah.
my habitual tendency, my pattern of avoiding the things that seems overwhelming really kicked a notch. So there
You
were a
just
lot of
yeah, yeah.
procrastination, there was a lot of
Mm-hmm.
delays, there was a lot of not doing the work immediately because feels so overwhelming.
Your lethargic
And
energy is still there. You're still
yeah, so it was a difficult adjustment. It
mm-hmm.
could have been smoother, but then, I made a different choice. So it was only at the end of the term that I was really rushing, cramming to complete all the requirements.
Mm-hmm.
And, that's why I was so grateful that I still got a 3 despite all of that, because I felt that my performance was really bad. Like I had a lot of late submissions, I had a lot of non-submissions,
Mm-hmm.
and but then I was able to complete all the major requirements and I got a 3. So that's 3 out of 4. Not that bad, despite the
Mm-hmm.
cramming and all that. Um, I was still able to deliver. It's just that the performance, the efficiency of that delivery was questionable. It was a
Mm-hmm.
huge learning experience. But right now, as I journey continuously in PhD, in the academe, I realized that, if you really found your place,
Mm-hmm.
you will be supported all the time. And what I realized is that as I opened up to the experience, more and more people, you know, are attracted to me, wanting to collaborate with me. Was so surprised. I was so quiet in class. I didn't interact with a lot of people. It was my first class back, and I was just merely um, observing, so to speak. But
Mm-hmm.
then, when I opened up that I'm having trouble, I'm having anxiety, I feel
Mm-hmm.
overwhelmed with all of these, I got two classmates who really reach out to me
Yeah.
to help me because it was all new once again.
Yeah.
So they reached out and they really helped me out, supported me in terms of learning the technicalities,
Mm-hmm.
the new technology that I have to learn. They were very, very supportive, and even the professor was very supportive. So I really appreciated that. And now that
Aw.
I'm coming into my second term back, I realized that, you know, I have more classmates who are wanting to work with me or
Mhm.
also willing to help with. It seems like God and the universe orchestrated for these people to be journeying with me at this point,
Yeah, it's
and
nice.
me learning from them and them helping me out. And it's like everything is falling into place.
Mhm.
Even the opportunities that come my way that's outside the academe,
Mhm.
it's also related to my work. That's
Yeah.
why I shared earlier that, oh my gosh, there's a lot of things that's going on, and there are the things from my backlog that's coming up. Because the thing is, I've collaborated with another coach and we wrote a self-love journal. And for us to
Yeah.
launch it, we need to create seminars, sessions, right? And
Mhm.
because of this,
Mhm.
um, the mentoring program that I have in mind is already kicking up a notch again. All right, as
Mhm.
I do this launch for the Self Love Journal, start working on the mentoring program and start
Okay.
working on the transformative workbook that we have been talking about since
Yeah.
last year. So
Mhm.
all of it are aligned. With the Kindle book that I have in mind, it's aligned to it. And I also have in mind to create the seminar, the finance seminars. And all of a sudden, one of my newfound friends in PhD invited me to be the faculty advisor of the
Oh,
Investor
wow.
Society, the student organization. And
Yeah.
he was telling me that, you know, they're so focused on stocks, on how to invest in stocks. But being an investor, you need to know the basics of personal finance. Can
Mhm.
you help out on that end? And I was like, yes. So
Wow. Yeah.
as I am about to help these students, this student organization, it's also aligning with my goal of creating that finance seminar that I had in my mind for the
Yeah.
longest time, that I haven't really been um putting so much energy on. It's just, okay, there's an idea, write down something, there's an idea, write down something. It's like
It's
it's a
all in
slow
your
cook
library of,
process.
and then when you need it,
Yes.
it's there.
Yes, and now
Mhm.
I'm being asked to pull it off the shelf and,
Yeah.
do it
Make
now,
use.
because it's all aligned.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
even with research, because this is the point wherein there's a question of, okay, do I want to do finance research or would I want to explore something else? And given my nature, of course, I'd like to explore social entrepreneurship. I'd like to explore
Mhm.
CSR. I'd like to explore um, the combination of business and helping the
Mhm.
society. That's the kind of topic or dissertation that I would be interested in. And all of a sudden, an acquaintance who has an NGO approached me asking for help in terms of creating a program for their donors. And I was like, oh, okay. It's like
Wow.
aligning to,
Yeah.
helping me explore what kind of focus areas that I'd
Mhm.
like to look at. And
Mhm.
that's why I shared that it seems like everything is falling into place, because even the partners that I would need for certain
Mhm.
projects are coming up, and these partners who would like to partner with me, the project that they came up with or the help that they
Yeah.
need is related to what I had stored at the backlog.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's why it's all coming out. That's why recently I also studied how to be more productive. Um, I subscribed in Skillshare last year, and I didn't touch Skillshare for the longest time. It's only now that I'm, accessing the courses that's available there. And I was like, this is like a minefield of information
Oh my God. You're
that I
being
failed
prepped.
to
you're being prepped before, you don't realize it now, like, oh my God, all this are put to use now. There's
And
no way.
even the guests.
Yeah.
Yes, and even the guests in Soul Talk, they're also helping me out because sometimes I would have a question in my mind and I was just, okay, angels, how do I do this? And
Mm-hmm.
surprisingly, as I talk to the guests, my friend would be sharing her experience or his experience, how she navigated or he navigated through this. And I was like, that's it. That's the answer. And I was like, okay,
Yes, yeah.
thank you for
Answer
helping
comes
me
from
out.
different ways, and it's sometimes in front of you from a stranger. So angels would
Mhm.
manifest. That's amazing. That's really amazing,
I
Michelle.
know.
Wow.
So now it's really a matter of me saying yes to the opportunities that are
Mm-hmm.
coming and finding a way to, still align it with my core work.
Mm-hmm. Yes, to those that
That's
just align to you,
mm,
and no to those that doesn't align to you anymore. I think if you're right there, anything that comes to you are more aligned right now. So you know already, your intuition would know if it's aligned to you, and it's just ripple effect. It's like a domino effect when you start
it
enrolling. It's
is.
like, I mean, domino in a good way that really connected you to anything that you need and every help. So you're being helped. So that's so. Can you call it as a divine intervention too? A lot of divine
It
intervention is helping
is.
you.
A lot of divine intervention. And that's my that's my sign that I'm really meant to be in this path.
Yes. Okay.
This
So that's
is
a.
what I'm being
Mhm,
called to do. That
mhm.
PhD is part of the journey because this is where I'm going to be meeting the people who would be helping me, manifest the things
Yeah.
that I'm meant to do. Because of course we can't do it all alone,
Yeah.
right?
You're being
We would need
supported all the
yes,
way in everything. That's
yes,
amazing. It's like, wow, effortless sometimes, but of course there's effort, but sometimes it's just, they just drop it into your lap. Or you were just thinking
super.
about it, and then the answer comes through somebody from Soul Talk. You were like thinking, how do I do this?" And then you talk to someone and the answer was like, is he talking to me? Or that person, he knows what's on my mind, right? So that is
Yes. That's
amazing.
why that's why even with Soul Talk, it's available to the community. It's available in YouTube for the community of my guests, whether
Hmm.
it's just their families or because they have different levels of influence, right?
Hmm.
Um, but then what's important for me is that even if it's just one person who would, listen and learn from my conversation with the guest, that's it. I am actually
Yeah.
happy. And
Hmm.
because the primary thing there is for me to learn from my guests and for me to impart something to my
Yeah.
guests.
It's not about the views or whatever. It's
Yes.
more of yeah, it's more of a soulful talk conversation with someone. You learn from each other, and both ways. It's a nice just chatting to someone, learning from this person, and at the same time they are learning from you. It's an exchange
It is.
of energy and vibration through learning.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So that's why even if I don't have a lot of subscribers in my YouTube channel or there's not a
Because
lot
that's
of
not your
members
purpose to
in my
have lots of
community. It's
subscribers.
not.
Yeah.
It's not. Yes. And my purpose is just to
To
share
find
what it
meaningful
is that I'm
meaningful people too. So your social media is not really is connecting to the right people. That is
mhm,
according to what you've said would be someone who would either help you or you would help it's a that's the way it is, and that's just how so it becomes more meaningful, not more of
mhm,
views of subscribers, because you're not into that, you're not monetizing into that. It's more of it's a good way for you. So because that's the trend right now, it's just transmuting all this energy. So whatever it is that the energy and the frequency you have with you, you are sharing it to your audiences and the people, you're attracting them because you're manifesting
Mhm.
something and you're attracting this pool of
Yes.
people and souls to interact with you, and now they become your support. So you open yourself up and help them, promote them at the same way too, and introducing them. And it's a good exchange of values, exchange of your kindness. So it's a beautiful story.
Definitely a sharing of our journeys. That's the
Hmm.
thing.
So you mentioned you've learned a lot from this. Is there anything else that you want to learn more?
There's a lot. Oh my goodness. Um,
Is this just the beginning
I know. It's just the beginning.
of a
Here
new
in the
chapter of your
Philippines,
life?
they
Yeah.
have they have these tests, the courses. And for the longest time I wanted to do a lot of um I'd love to enroll in different courses, sewing, even haircut.
Yeah.
Um, they really have a lot. Um, Even the arts, crafts, painting, I'm enjoying it right now. Of course, I
Any
don't have
like
the
cultural and
formal.
arts
I don't
from
have the
Philippines?
formal training.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's
So
hard to
I'd
find
love to.
something like that in one place, like arts, culture, tradition that you want to learn from Philippine tradition.
Well, here in the Philippines, it's not really that unlike in more developed countries, here in the Philippines when it comes to arts, culture and um
Like the
those things,
traditional by buying all that.
it's not really highlighted, or it's not given that much importance.
Like
Not when there
learning
are.
the traditional culture and arts that we want, like by buying and all that. We don't have that courses there in the Philippines, even in the
None.
city's cultural arts center, no, or the
None. Not that I
uh,
know of. Because even
National
the
Museum.
people, I do have friends who are really into the Philippine culture when it comes to arts, to the crafts, the weaving, the different ways of
Mhm.
but then they really have to go back to the communities
Yeah.
to learn from them. And with communities, especially if it's indigenous,
Hmm.
they usually don't trust outsiders. You really
Yeah.
have to get their trust before
Hmm.
they would even orally um, educate you on some of the things, on how they
Yeah.
do things, mga ganon.
Or
Because
maybe
what you see
they have bad
online or in
experience in the
YouTube,
past. Yeah. They want to
probably.
respect their culture and heritage. And
Yes. What's available online or in other resources,
mhm,
that's usually incomplete.
yeah.
It
So do
doesn't
you
paint the
think
entire
there's
picture.
still a lot of opportunities to do all those kind of online or program that you want to
There's a
learn like
lot.
sewing? Yeah.
There's a
So
lot
there's a lot
because
of unattended
mhm.
ideas or courses that still us as Filipinos who want to learn more about those tradition that it's more of ancestral heritage, I guess. But then there's nothing you can find available online because, as you said, I mean, you can't go through 7,000 island and learn every culture, right? So if there would be an available platform for that, are you willing to learn right away?
Yeah, I would. I'm a what do you call this? I'm a certificate junkie. Or I love
Yeah, learning.
going subscribing to a lot of things. It's just a
Hmm.
matter of, making time for it. But definitely, yes, it's something that I would want to look at. Um, it's just that right now, perhaps it's also because of the algorithm of social media, because I don't go to accounts that has a lot of arts and culture that's related to the
Mhm.
Philippines, then it won't pop up in my
Yeah.
timeline or in my feed.
But this is
Um,
surprising coming from you. Like, okay, so I thought it's more of your answer will be more of other learning about doctorate and stuff. But then I'm very surprised about arts and cultures and weaving. And I'll probably tell you more about that. Why I'm surprised
yeah.
offline. I'll tell you more about that. Why I'm surprised online.
No, because I love beautiful things. And, I would go to, the trade events wherein they
Hmm.
would invite the local sellers from different parts of the Philippines to go to a trading hall and share their
Yeah,
wares. I love buying the bayong,
yeah.
um
You have this one
the
in
what do you call this? The banig,
mhm,
yung everything that's wood
traditional.
or organic.
Organic, yeah, anything
I
that's has the natural element of the earth, wood,
yes. Mm,
stones, anything that's made of
yes.
hand from a tribal. Yes, we used to have a store like that in Bacolod, the city of Smile. I used to have the store like that. We have different um province that we will feature, for example, like a
Oh.
fisherman's wife. So it's really more of uh, we call it EBES, evangelical business entrepreneur and social transformation, and was sponsored abroad. And then, but we need a local person who would oversee it. And yeah, so I was the owner of the store, and so they turned it over to me, and it was amazing. I have to go travel to different provinces and really
Mm.
connect with them. And because there's already a system there, so people would trust you. So amazing how beautiful products that I'm not even aware of in the Philippines. And there's
Yes.
one that really struck to me. Noah something. I have to go to the almost at the end of the earth of Negros Oriental. A lot of traveling. Some because they have to do it from there. So I feel
Mm.
like I'm at the foot of a mountain, and then we have to go there and just to see all these precious stones. I forgot what particular it is, but it's very beautiful. And those were just specific giving gifts that they Malacanang would request to give it to different diplomats because it's very rare. So jewelry boxes beautifully made. So I'm not aware that we have all that. So there's a lot of hidden treasures still in the Philippines,
I know
and
there's a
yeah,
lot.
very rich
Yeah,
culture and heritage.
it's just
So
that it
proud.
cannot be mass produced. That's the thing.
Maybe
When it comes to
we should not mass produce them, but we have to be mindful also with I think with a resort. But there's
yes,
a
but
lot
but
to
there's a huge demand for it.
yeah, but just a
And
balance, I guess, not to I mean, I think there's supposed to be a social responsibility. We should not deprive them. We should value more of this tribe. We have to preserve them. And then the new modern people should help us. We should have to
I
continue them.
know.
I think it's a beautiful legacy to not just for us, for the future of it's not just Philippines, but any, countries that would have that. So yeah, maybe if you know
Yes.
someone or other countries that do that, I don't know. We might start a new
You know,
revolution.
actually, the last time I went to La Union, I bought a lot of inabel. They call it abel, the pattern of weaving. So there are shawls and There were lots of blankets that's, that uses a traditional way of weaving in their particular area. And I love buying those things. That's why when I go to, farther parts of the country, I like going to the market. I'd like to just see what are the wares that they are selling. It looks so
Yeah,
nice. If I only have unlimited budget, then I'll buy a lot.
I know. But I think a lot
Even
of
in Davao. Even
well, a
in
lot of
Davao, I love
like
their printed
there's a lot of
cloths that
beautiful
they have.
things. But who are the forerunners who really exposed all of this? I mean, we cannot really vouch for celebrities because most of celebrities are really into other brands abroad. I mean, there's few who would do that, but of course that's they're being paid for. But I think it's nice to promote it for people who are really has this nationalistic pride of Filipino works. Like us, Yodi, how we dedicated it to coming from the city of smile and love. So there's a lot of really good things about Filipino tradition. And yeah, I'm surprised you want to learn more about that. But I could give you a little bit of a hint offline because I'm surprised
All right.
why you talk about that. But yeah, just offline.
Because I also love
You'll
beautiful
be surprised.
things,
You'll
of
be surprised
course.
why I'm like, why is she saying this? Anyway.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm surprised with your answer with this, and it's another divine
I
intervention.
always get to surprise you, Julie. That's what I love.
I know, girl. I like the new Michelle 4.0 right now. 4.0 because
It's now 4.0. It's not 2.0 now.
no 4.0. You've upgraded. As you said, the law of attraction
Definitely.
really upgraded you not just from that one learning skills, you were advanced right now. So you're 4.0. So, well, thank you for simply being you. Should we do the Yodiha questions a little bit? I guess.
Okay lang. Okay, go.
Oh, okay. So stop share. And very good. So I'm glad you mentioned about that. And okay, with that. So who are you? This is Michelle. So
Who am
if
I?
you will go through just one answer, it's 58 seconds. I don't know. And you have to answer the next question. This is like a rapid question, I guess.
Okay.
Just for fun. Okay, let's start again.
Sige. Okay, go.
For fun
Baka
lang.
nag-iba na yung sagot ko from the last time. I think I
Oh
did this
yeah,
before.
you have evolved, girl. Okay, let's go.
Go.
One
Who am
word.
I? Huh? Child of God, definitely.
Okay. Who is your organic self?
Or, I don't even know what that is.
Okay. What is divinity? That's fine.
Trinity. Supreme. Everything
Okay.
that's unconscious, above and beyond, that's
Oh, sorry.
divinity for me.
You have ads. What is it? Why is it? Okay. Can't help falling in.
Ano
Why
yung
is
student
it doing
membership?
that?
Ano
I'm
yun?
so sorry. Okay. Nawindang ako doon. Okay, let's go back. Can't stop falling in love. Maybe this is for you. It cannot. Why I do have ABS-CBN here? So there you go.
It's part of your cue.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Oh, who am I? Child of God.
So who is your organic
self? Ewan ko, nakikita ko flower.
Okay, go.
Divinity.
What is divinity?
Everything of the light from above and beyond.
What is your dream?
What is my dream? To be my greatest version of myself.
How does your soul expand?
Oh my gosh. Growth. A lot of growth. A lot of
Are you
work.
highly favored?
Actions. Yes, of course, I'm highly favored.
What is
I get a lot of
ascension?
help. Going back to God.
You did it. See?
Grabe,
You're
ang bilis naman ng question.
Ascending and high descending. So, diba? Oh. So there you have it. Thank you, Michelle, for gracing your time with us. I know you're so busy. And we hope that your organic dream and divinity would continue to expand and highly ascend. And God bless you. We'll talk to you soon.
You. Yes,
Thank you
of
all
course.
for watching, Michelle, and like, share, and subscribe. Bye. Yodeha.
Bye.